What's going on, my fellow Dram sippers? Today, we have another heavy hitter. Aberlour, Abuna. I don't know if you can see that, but this bad boy is packing a punch. Yes, sir. Thing's sitting at 59.9%, and to me, when I was in math class, the teacher told me to always round up. So might as well just go ahead and round up to 60%. We sitting at 60%, that thing packing a punch, and ain't nothing to play with. Drams on deck is bringing this one right here. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is kind of something that I'm evolving into. Little quick story. I just poured a dram of this thing about 5 minutes ago, so I'm letting it open up. But I'm letting you know that originally, drams usually didn't get down with the CASK strength. I must admit, I was scared. I was a little scared. I'm being very. I was scared of the CASK strength back in the day. I was a little scared because I was like, you know what, that thing is, strong as hell, and I don't know if I'm ready for that. But through the years of me trying things and evolving, now I'm at a point where I prefer CASK strength. Believe it or not, I flip the damn script. So now my taste buds is ever growing. It's constantly changing. It's evolving. And while I'll say within as recent as 2 years ago, I was shied away from that. Anything over 50%, I was like, I think I'm good. But now, it's like, I prefer that. And to me, more recently, I noticed that with my palate, CASK strength, once you get acclimated to the actual heat on the tongue and on the palate, and you just get past that for a second, because usually the first shot is the toughest one. Once you get past that first shot or that first tasting, every other dram, every other shot that you take or tasting, sipping, at least on my palate, gets easier and easier. Once your mouth, your palate, your taste buds are acclimated to the heat and the APV, then all the other ones are a little bit easier. And if you really, really want to go there, you can add water too. I've learned how to deal with the heat and add water and to make it what I need to make it. So now it's a little bit longer. So it's almost like mouthwash. When you, in the early morning, when you rinse out for mouthwash, you notice that once you swirl it in your mouth, you spit it out, 5 minutes later, you still taste the Listerine in your mouth. You know what I mean? So it's the same way with this. It's a higher alcohol content, and to me, it lasts a lot longer, at least on my palate, because it's a lot heavier. It's straight, uncut, right from the cask to the bottle. And when it sits on my palate, that strong ABV, it soaks in deeper, and I kid you not, for me, in this particular dram, it lasts a lot longer on my palate, which I enjoy. So that's kind of why I like CASK strengths now. The finish is a lot longer and more prevalent for me. Beginning of this, let me I just recently got this particular bottle. I've seen this for years. I actually did a review of the Aberlour 12. And so this is the second product that I've had. Well, actually, I've had a 10-year-old and I've had a 12-year-old. I reviewed the 12. This is pretty much the third product that I've tried from the Aberlour wheelhouse. And so, and of all the ones that I've tried, I'll just give you a quick spoiler alert. This is my favorite one. I got this right around New Year's not too long ago, and it ran me around $90 or so. The price can range anywhere from, you could probably get it in certain spots for maybe $75 to, I've seen as much as $100. So anywhere from the $75 to the $100 range is where you typically will find this priced at. This, like I said, it has a coat plastic. It's been around for years. And, I'm a sherry guy. I'm a space side guy. That was my first love, Macallan. And so this is a sherry guy. This right here. And so it falls right in line with all the other ones that I love. And this is, like I said, I'm going to get into the taste in just a while. But if you're a sherry person, then you should be right at home with this one. So let's just jump on this nose real quick. Whew. Picking up some mixed spices. Can't pinpoint which one, but it smells like a little nut, maybe like praline. Obviously sherry. Like a dried dark fruit. Like a plum, peach. But dark fruits, little oak, sherry, and that's what I'm picking up on this one right here. It has a pretty nice nose. Believe it or not, for as strong as it is, the nose it's not like super pungent or off-putting. It's definitely a pretty approachable nose. I've had some drams, in particular some bourbons I've had that just, as soon as you put your nose in the woo, it just Get over one be with the first sniff or two, but this was pretty approachable. Praline, oat, a little spice. That's what I pick up on this Aberlour. Abu Dhabi. So this one right here, this is the CASK, pretty big tin that comes in right here. Figured I'd keep it. It's my first one. I definitely will be picking up more of this product. And the particular batch number on this one is 64. So I know some people, I read reviews, some people like the 30 the best or the 57. I think it's just a matter of opinion. And the different batches every year, they carry different alcohol volumes. Sometimes you'll see this Aberlour at 62%, 63. Mine's at 59.9. So usually, and that's more on the low side. Most of the ones I see is at 60% or higher. So that's pretty much where mine is at. So it's gonna vary in the alcohol content, but it's still pretty much cask strength, heavy hitter. And some people are not used to it. So I will say a quick tip for people who are not used to drinking cask strength: start off sipping small. So if you normally have so let's say if you normally sip maybe a half an ounce per sip, and drop in another half, so maybe a quarter of an ounce. So the smaller sip to let your palate and your mouth get used to the alcohol volume. And if you start with a smaller sip, it's not gonna, it's gonna be less of a burn or less of off-putting per se, because you have less of a amount. Swirl it around, hold it for a second, let it go down, and once you do that, it helps soften up the next blow when you go for your next sip and the next sip. But just try smaller sips, and if you choose water. On the palate, it's amazing how approachable this is for the high ABV. Like I said, 2 years ago, this would have burned my tongue. But now, it's not a problem for me. Usually, like I said, the first sip is the most challenging one. After that, the rest of them is a piece of cake, at least for me. I usually like to give my first opinion after the second sip. But it's still going right now. I'm gonna take another small sip. This is a sherry bomb. Sherry lovers, this is the dram for you. Trust me. Straight, heavy sherry on this. I think it's first fill Oloroso sherry on this one, according to this tin. It's exclusively matured in Oloroso sherry butts. But on the palate, picking up some cherries, plum, a heavy sherry, a little bit of ginger, and for me, I don't really even feel the heat that much. But I do notice on this one, as opposed to, we'll say, the Aberlour 12, the finish and the linger on here is so profound because of the higher ABV. And to be honest with you, I don't really think it needs water. To me, it doesn't. Some people may disagree, and this is all subjective. So this is based upon your opinion, your palate, and what you like. So if you taste this and you feel you need water, then you add water. I would suggest approaching it little by little. Don't just pour a lot, just pour just a little bit, taste it. If you feel you need more, then just gradually add more and go slowly until you get to the whatever level that's comfortable for you, and go from there. But I would suggest, if you try this for the first time and you're not used to cask strength, I would probably say, like I said, start off with small sips and try it neat first. And then if it's, give at least 2 sips neat. After the second sip, if your palate still feels a little, off, and you feel you need water, then just gradually add it in there. But for me, I don't think it needs it. But just for you all, I'm going to add a little bit of water in there, really just so I can tell you if there's any change as far as the taste profile. I don't think it's necessary, but sometimes when you add water, it does open up the flavors and unlock it a little bit, make it a little bit more enhanced, maybe more sophisticated. So we're going to see right here. I like it neat, and like I said, it's just a matter of time, because like I said, I used to be scared of this stuff as far as the alcohol content, and now I gravitate toward it. And this is evolution, because I remember not too long ago, I didn't like peat. I didn't like peaty whiskeys. I was just sherry all day, and now I do like peat. So it's just evolution. Your taste buds. The more you try different things, as open your palate up to it, you tend to grow and gravitate to different things. So on the palate now, this is with water. Mm. Only difference I really taste on the finish, it did open up a little bit for me. I get a little more nutmeg on the back end, a little bit more spice on the finish, just a little bit. But it was a great jam without the water. So I would suggest do both. You pour yourself a dram, try it neat, finish it as I did with a shot of water, and see what you pick up. It's a great dram, nevertheless. Like I said, with water on my palate, the spices tend to linger more on the finish. At least on the opening, when I first go in, I pick up fruit like like some cherries. Maybe look slightly, just a hint of some dark chocolate or something. And then on the finish, I get more nutmeg and on that. But I really get to me, it's very well balanced. It's not a very astringent. I don't get just a strong alcohol punch on the taste. Now, don't get me wrong, I can feel the heat. Trust me, you feel the heat, but it's very, very smooth. It's approachable. It's not like a harsh burn for me. And years ago, that was what my trepidation was with getting these type of higher alcohol volume drams, because I wasn't used to it. I used to, drink stuff that was 40%, 43% at best, like 46 at best. So anything with 60, I was like, oh no, I'm not going to do that. And as I continued drinking, I'm trying different things over the years. I went up to 50%. I tried some 55%, and I tried it, several times with a little bit of water. And after a while, I just kind of trained myself to deal with the content. And like I said, for me, taking smaller sips initially made it more approachable for me. That's my tip. Try it and see if that may work for you. I'm talking about for those people who are not used to drinking cash strength. If you are a seasoned drinker, you had 10 bottles of this, I'm not talking about, then you're good to go. You need no introduction for that. But for those who may not be experienced with it, that's what that tip is for. But all in all, this is a great sherry bomb. Only thing I can, the few things I can think to compare it to is the Macallan. I think it's not all the way, but I think it reminds me a little bit of the Mac 12, a little bit. This is obviously stronger, so it's but only a little bit on the taste factor. Obviously, it's more turned up on here, and also reminds me of people who have had it before. Is the Glenfargus 15? That was a sherry bomb, though that was not as strong as this either. But that was a sherry bomb as well. So it reminds me of those type of things, like a Mac 12, and even more so a Glenfargus 15. It reminds me similar a little bit to that. This is pretty accessible. It's not hard to find the Aberlour. I messed up the word, Abuna. This right here is very accessible. You can see it most places. Same as a 12 or a 16 or anything. So it's definitely, you don't have to run around and try to find it. It is now if you're looking for a specific batch or like a batch number, if you want the batch number 59 or 55, and those is going to take you a little bit more work. But just to get this, regardless of the batch, is not hard to find at all. Like I said, I paid roughly around $90 for this. And it ranges anywhere from like 75 to 100. If I had to rate this dram 1 out of a 10, I would give this a solid 8.5. I really would, solid 8.5. It is an awesome dram. It really is, and I almost want to lean towards a 9, almost a 9, to be honest. I really enjoy this dram. This is my first bottle of it, and I can assure you I will be getting more of this. You can book that one. It's definitely enjoyable. I'm going to be getting more cash strength. I'm going to get a little bit more bourbons as well. So stay tuned. Drams is definitely exploring my taste buds, exploring different drinks. That's what it's about. I'm a Scotch lover first and foremost, but I'm not just relegated to Scotch. As far as foreign, whiskey, I like Japanese whiskey, bourbons, American whiskey, tequila, cognac. I appreciate all spirits, but my first love is definitely Scotch. I will say that, in particular the sherry space side. That was my first love, and then shortly after that, I would say tequila became my second love. Be that as it may, I enjoy them all. Solid A for me. Drams on deck. I definitely will be doing more reviews for more space sides, more bourbons coming out. Please comment in my blogs if you want something that you want me to review or you want to ask me about. Hit me in the comment box, and I will definitely reply as soon as possible. But until then, signing off. Solid A. Drams on deck.